Imagine a world where Lori Vallow, the seemingly innocent and charming woman, is actually the puppet master pulling all the strings. We're not talking about a petite marionettist in a carnival. Oh no, we're diving into a darker abyss. Picture this. Lori Vallow, a manipulative narcissist, strategically using her charm and cunning to influence the dull and unattractive Chad and the naive Alex Cox. It's an unsettling thought, isn't it? A woman who, on the surface, appears benign, could possibly be the mastermind behind a series of heinous crimes. Could Lori have been the one pulling the strings all along? Could the allure of her charisma have been so overwhelming that it led Chad and Alex to commit unthinkable acts under her command? But what could possibly drive Lori to take such drastic actions? Let's delve deeper. Chad Daybell, dull and unattractive as he may be, was seemingly under Lori's spell. Let's dive into the murky waters of Lori and Chad's relationship. Now, Chad isn't exactly what you'd call a catch. Dull as a doorknob and not much to look at. But Lori, with her narcissistic charm, seemed to have him wrapped around her little finger. Lori Vallow, a woman who could probably sweet talk a snake out of its skin, had Chad completely smitten. She wielded her influence like a weapon, and Chad, well, he was her willing target. She had a knack for manipulation, a talent for twisting words and emotions to suit her needs. And Chad, poor dull Chad, fell right into her web. Lori's influence over Chad wasn't just limited to their personal relationship. It seeped into every aspect of their lives, even the darkest corners. Chad, besotted and blinded by his lust for Lori, found himself drawn into a world of unthinkable crimes. Under Lori's sway, Chad went from a simple man to a participant in heinous acts. It's as if Lori's influence was a puppeteer's string, tugging Chad along a path he might not have chosen on his own. But let's not forget, Chad was no innocent bystander. He was a grown man with a mind of his own, yet it's hard to deny the potent influence Lori had over him. The question remains, however, was Chad merely a puppet in Lori's hands, or was he a willing participant in their shared darkness? As the case unfolds, we are left with a chilling thought. Could Chad's defense claim that he was merely a puppet in Lori's hands? Could he argue that he was under the influence of a manipulative narcissist? Could this be his ticket to innocence? It's a question that sends chills down our spines. Could Chad's defense claim that he was merely a puppet in Lori's hands? Could this be his ticket to innocence? And then there's Alex Cox, Lori's brother, naive and easily swayed. He wasn't exactly your sleuthing super spy, was he? More like a dull blade in Lori's narcissistic arsenal. Alex, bless his heart, seemed to be caught up in Lori's web of manipulation, perhaps without fully comprehending the depth of the abyss he was stepping into. Lori, with her charm and persuasive powers, might have used Alex as her personal henchman, making him an accomplice in her twisted plot. Was he merely a puppet, with Lori pulling the strings? Was he so naive that he failed to see the glaring red flags, or was he just blinded by familial loyalty? Imagine Alex, a simple man, caught up in a whirlwind of deceit and murder, orchestrated by his own sister. It's a chilling thought, isn't it? Was Alex merely a pawn in Lori's game, manipulated into committing crimes without realizing the gravity of his actions? So we're left with a haunting question. Was Lori Vallow the mastermind, pulling the strings all along? This is where our path has led us, to a labyrinth of unanswered questions, each more perplexing than the last. we've explored the possibility of Lori, the narcissist, having a profound influence over Chad, who, let's face it, isn't exactly winning any charm contests. Could it be that Chad, in his dullness and lack of appeal, was so smitten by Lori that he allowed himself to be drawn into her twisted world? And what about the naive Alex Cox? How did he fit into this dark puzzle? Was he merely a pawn in Lori's game? As we dive deeper into this mystery, it's clear that there's so much we don't know. Only time will tell if Lori was the puppet master in this tragic tale. For now, we can only speculate and wait for justice to be served.